Astrology Throwdown tonight. We continue to obsess about Napoleon, and now it's Elvis Costello. Elvis Costello's Napoleon. I don't know any way to deny it anymore. I know this sounds crazy, but I've been watching bootlegs of Elvis's tour in Europe. It's so good. I've never seen a concert close to this fascinating. It's so fascinating and it's so artsy, and I love it. I just love everything they're doing. I can't believe how great everybody's playing. Pete Thomas, such a great drum. I'm just in awe constantly when I watch these bootlegs. I'm just so glad I get to at least see parts of it. Anyway, I go through them because I'm thinking of processing them, or I have a secret vault that I've been building at one of my my YouTube channels. Um, Elvis has been talking about defend vinyl in Liverpool and how everybody should go there and defend them and basically support them. And I love that he's has that heart for the little guy, and for all of us, it's very romantic to defend vinyl. It's very romantic to to continue to complain about Napoleon's death 200 years later. These are romantic things to do. I love, even if I were fighting for a lost cause, which I don't think I am at all. But even if I were, I would rather fight for a lost cause if it's the right cause. And that's why I still fight for Napoleon. Yes, he lost. Yes, it was 200 years ago. But he was right. He was right. And I love to show people exactly how he was brought down. He was brought down by that second wife. Okay? So understand the methods. They use women. That's right. If they can get that woman in that bedroom, perfect. That's how this banking dynasty fights humanity, through messing people up at the personal level. And I've been letting everybody know all the sick things they've been doing to me for years. And I have a million lawsuits against them. Oh, and I've got all the names. I've got the list. I've got the evidence. I've got every single thing. So what can I do? I can go find a lawyer. Who's going to go up against them? Anyone? Like you said, let's give it a shot. Anybody want to represent me and fight the richest people on the planet and win? We're going to win because I do have a million lawsuits against them. They do not have the right to commit crimes just because they're criminals. I mean, they have all that money because they're criminals. That's not their money. Their wealth is a total, complete illusion that we are all supporting. Okay, let's stop supporting the illusion of their money. When someone is a criminal, yeah, they have acquired a lot as a criminal. It's not theirs because they were cheating. That's how it works in the world, astrology, cosmic law. Okay, the criminal can only get by for so long. Oh, you say, but they've been in control of pretty much the world for 200 years. So, yeah, they have had a long run. I will give them that. For criminals, these are amazing criminals. It's not just your regular bumbling criminals. There's something else going on spiritually. There's a they're organized. Woo! They're the Saturn Death Cult. Saturn Death Cult knows how to organize. Speaking of Saturn, that's what today is all about. I talk about Saturn all the time. Um, I guess I'll just jump right in. I complain about them enough. I just want to complain about them constantly. And one day we will be free. One way or another, we will get free. Okay? And that's the prize I keep my eye on. I will be free one day, somehow, one way or another. And I am fighting for freedom. What is freedom? Exactly. That's the theme of today. Freedom. What is freedom in astrology? It's a couple things, but it's Uranus. Could be Jupiter. What else is freedom? There's many types of freedom, but Uranus and Jupiter would be the most obvious. Jupiter would be like the adventure freedom and the freedom to explore new new cultures and new ideas. It's that kind of freedom, and it's a search for truth. So Jupiter is really beautiful like that, and then Uranus is like the shocking weird changes. Like I always think of Nikola Tesla. He was He was very lonely, but he wanted to help people. That's a story. I don't know. I didn't do the deep dive on Nikola Tesla, really know who he really was or anything, but this is what they tell you. This is the official narrative on Nikola Tesla, that he did want to help people. Oh, but who got in the way? Same people always get in the way of everything. J.P. Morgan. Oh, who was J.P. Morgan really owned by? When did they find that out? When he died. J.P. Morgan turned out he was a minion of the banking dynasty. Anyway, that's the official narrative, maybe unofficial, official, but uncontested, that J.P. Morgan was really that banking dynasty, and he was. This is official narrative. He was the one who blocked Nikola Tesla giving free energy to us. Why would the banking dynasty want us to have free energy? You see, if we had free energy, and if we could get plumbing under control, and if we could just figure out food, okay? We could just say goodbye to them finally. So they have to control food, they have to control energy, they have to control. This is how they control us. And when beautiful Nikola Tesla, he was beautiful. Oh my goodness. And he was certainly a genius. And I admire him. I wish I knew more about him. But anyway, he's a connection to my area, Long Island. So that's the official story, that this freaking banking stooge stopped Nikola Tesla from doing the work and having the funding to give the people free energy. Okay, so that is what this banking dynasty is all about stopping our progress. And what was Nikola Tesla? He's a great genius. And that's Uranus energy. See, I'm back to being mad at that, because they're in our way and we need to move forward. Oh, what is that in our way? That's Saturn. We need to move forward. What is that? Uranus. Okay, so I'm trying to show you that Saturn is a certain kind of energy. That is so personified by that banking dynasty. They are structured. They are the establishment. They are organized. They have lots of money. They have lots of buildings. They own lots of stuff. You know, they have lots of control. So they're the personification of Saturn, and they get a lot of power from killing. So there's the Saturn death cult, of course, as we all know. The, the Saturn death cult is running everything pretty much. So that's an imbalance. We, the people, vastly outnumber the Saturn death cult. So hopefully, through alignment and listening to our guidance, I hope other people can hear their guidance like I can. Boy, I can hear it. If I'm told to do, like I said, if they say jump, I say how high, and I just hope I'm hearing the right voice. But I think I'm at a certain level where the bad guys are a little outside the gate at this point. So I don't have them sneaking in that much like they used to. So we'll see. But I'm on uncharted territory, so I can only tell you what I think is happening, or what my perceptions are. I really, no one, I don't, who's been here, this far into the spirit realm and still here. And what's so interesting about that is because my moon is in Pisces in the 12th house, and Jupiter, Neptune has been right on that moon. And I have really flowing aspects with Neptune. So in my chart, I would be this psychic in the chart. So I think that's interesting, that that's a validation of astrology right there. And now Neptune is going retrograde. So it's going to be running back and forth over over this moon that I have. So if I'm already spiritual or receptive, I'm going to be way more soon. So hopefully I'll know my guidance is really good. I think it's good. It gets validated a lot. See, the problem with me when I do things that are wrong, I actually am not being told the full story. I just want people to know that I'm still listening to my guidance, but I feel like I have to explain this, and it's even hard for me to believe, but this is what's going on with me. Um, I'm I'm an agent. I'm an agent, and I'm given assignments. I'm given orders. So I take my orders. I get a certain amount of information about it, just like in Mission Impossible or something. I'm told this is what you're going to do right now, and I'm given a certain amount of information, and I I don't know necessarily anything. I just know what they told me, and then I go in, and I have to find, I go on another adventure. It's a mission or an adventure. These are, I don't leave the house, but I still go on adventures, and that's what the adventures are. So sometimes it suits my guides for me to not know something because I can't lie. For example, let's use the example of someone like Marie Louise, who was Napoleon's second wife. She was a plant for the banking dynasty, and it's unclear how much she knows she's a plant for the banking dynasty. She doesn't, to a certain degree, she does know. She's there to destroy Napoleon. She knows that. That she does know. Okay? But she doesn't really know everything. And they are keeping her ignorant to a degree. So she'll look more real to Napoleon. This is all bait and a trap. They put an 18-year-old girl in that situation, the banking dynasty, to destroy Napoleon. And it worked. I just want you to know exactly how they did it. They kept roping him into wars. And then they put this agent on him who lulled him into a false sense of security by getting children involved. So they got the children involved. So Napoleon would really be locked into the situation, and it worked. So I just want you to know how it works. And anyway, my point about Saturn and Uranus is that there are I have to get off that subject. That's my point. So right now, Saturn is Aquarius. So what I want to explain is that Saturn is about work, structures, discipline, disappointments, old age, bummers, basically the bummers in life, the things that we don't want to deal with, hurt, and insecurities and doubts and blocks, all that stuff. That's all Saturn. So that's in Aquarius right now. That's a place of Uranus. So let's just start there. Okay. So I've been watching Saturn transit Uranus, and I keep hoping, I'm rooting that we're going to be disciplined and we're going to fight for better institutions, better conditions for the people, because that's what Aquarius is. It's the masses. So hopefully Saturn is going to bring its considerable power to help organize the people and bring them strength and bring them that backbone, that perseverance that they need. That's what I'm hoping Saturn is going to do in Aquarius. Okay, fine. So I'm looking up something else with astrology that I was planning on discussing tonight. And then I start looking, and all I see is Uranus, Saturn, Uranus, Saturn, Uranus. Everything is going Uranus on my chart right now. And as I've been saying, I'm very closely observing a Mars return right now. So I want to see how this amplification of Mars energy is going to play out. As you see, I'm raring to go. I want to get in the ring, and I want to. I'm so tired of this war. It just goes on and on and on. And anyway, so I have tons of Mars energy right now, and that Mars energy is square Pluto near my midheaven. Okay, so I want to really express how this is reflecting my story. Okay, so right now I have Mars in Aries on my ascendant, so I'm already known as a troublemaker, and then I have Mars on top of it. Okay, and that's in Aries. So it's the most Mars place you could possibly put, in the most visible place you could possibly put it, the ascendant. Okay, and it's square Pluto. Pluto where? Pluto in Capricorn. Okay, Capricorn, place of Saturn. So one is ripping up the other one apart. Okay, Pluto's ripping Saturn up, but boy, does it need it. Oof, yikes! What a terrible establishment we have. I mean, it's literally a Saturn death cult establishment. That's what our Capricorn is, a Saturn death cult. And Pluto is tearing through it, and it's square my Mars. So I'm involved. This is my I guess it's my moment, because my sun is in Pluto, and Pluto is in my house of service. So Pluto is such an important planet for me, and it's what I do. I change things as an artist. I sand them, paint them and all that. That's Pluto. Healing. It's also kind of like healing. Everything's kind of the same once you get down to it. Everything's, sanding and painting. So if you want to make something nice, you have to sand it and then put a nice coat on it. That's everything. So you got to sand it first. And that's Pluto. You think it likes being sanded? No, it hates it, but then it's all clean after. So that's good. That's what we need. We need our institutions to get scrubbed. And then we'll still have the buildings and we'll still have the laws that are wonderful. And I don't even think we need all these laws. The dumb laws, get rid of them. Obviously, we can fix this. We have a good framework. Elections are okay. We can do all kinds of things. It's most of it's fine. The problem is it's the polarity. It's on evil polarity. You just change it to they're pretending to be good. So all we have to do is become what they pretend they are. They pretend that they are charity. They're charities people. That's what they pretend, right? They just give to charity. I mean, that's what they pretend, right? So why don't we have a banking dynasty that really does charity all the time and no taxes? I figured it out. Okay, let me explain it to you. Okay, here it is. Okay, so there's that banking dynasty who just kills people and steals everything. And with panache, I'll give them panache all day. Panache is not the problem. They got panache. I'll give them that. Okay, fine. So we change the polarity, okay? And the whole money system is just exactly the way it is. Okay, everybody's got the money they've got. Everybody's working for the money they're about to get. Okay, all the money's rolling around. Okay, but we all decide one day that it's gonna be it's not gonna be right. Oh, what? Anyway, so it's gonna be Bonaparte dynasty. Okay, listen, banking's not that hard. Okay, so you change the polarity to Bonaparte dynasty. Then what? Then be, we won. We proved everything. We win because we proved that that everything they're doing, we've proven it. So, and they've done all these terrible things to us. So we win the trial, right? And what do they have? They have all those palaces and all those planes and all those horses and all those all that breeding they do and all those uh, vineyards and stuff, whatever, all of that stuff they have, right? Then it's all ours, right? Because they've been doing nothing but committing crimes, and we just transfer everything over to the Bonaparte dynasty. Well, the Bonaparte dynasty is completely transparent. The Bonaparte dynasty does not hide anything it's doing. It is it has proven sufficiently over and over and over again that we really do have the best interests of the people. So you switch over, everything's just rolling along, and we keep it rolling along. But since we now have the $700 trillion or pounds or whatever it is that it's all funny money. You could tell me they have 700 trillion trillions. It's not real. It's all an illusion because they're criminals. Criminals don't have real wealth because anyone can come take their wealth at any time. That's how crime works. That's not theirs. They built their their dynasty on nothing because it's built on lies. Okay, but that's not the Bonaparte dynasty. We're completely open. We show what we offer. We give, and then we won the trial. So everything gets transferred over to us. Everything that they have or pretend to have or whatever their crime empire has gotten them, it all comes right to us. Okay, so now we own everything because we proved that they've been destroying our lives, which they have. So we win. So now I have 700 trillion trillions of imaginary Saturn death cult money, just like they do, because it's just an illusion. It's a magic based money system. It's the whole thing is illusion. Okay, so we keep the illusion going. Who cares? It's working, right? That's not the problem. The illusion's not the problem. It's working. Who cares if it's an illusion? Okay, fine. So we moved the illusion over to the Bonaparte dynasty, which is completely publicly owned, completely transparent. There's no question where we're coming from. We are what we are, you know? And what do we do? Now we have all the money in the world. And I have my own treasure trove of my art is going to be, truly priceless. It's going to be in museums one day. So all of my art is money. So I have all my art. I have priceless treasure of my own, obviously. Okay, so I have that. And then we bring in, maybe we can ask Elvis to get involved. Who knows if I can ever talk to him. Well, but I won the trial. I got rid of them. So now I can talk to Elvis. Wouldn't that be cool if I could talk to my twin flame, Napoleon? That'd be incredible. Okay, fine. We're in that world. Oh my goodness, this would be a great world. Okay, so now I have all the money in the world. I'm the richest person in the world. I have a boundless wealth. I have the banking dynasty's 700 trillion trillions. I have my own treasure, which I have anyway. And then, then I could talk to Elvis. Maybe I could pull him into this, see what he's got to pull in, because he is Napoleon, obviously. Okay, then what? Then I'm in charge, because obviously the person who runs the banking dynasty runs the world. So now I run the world. What's the first thing I do when I run the world? And it's all up to you. All you have to do is vote with your actions. All you have to do is want this. If you all want this, I will have sovereignty, and I can be the banking dynasty dictator of the world. And then when I'm banking dynasty dictator of the world, what am I going to do? First thing, abolish taxes. First thing, I abolish taxes. So we no taxes anymore. Number one, that's where we start. Okay. Then once taxes are abolished, and we're just going to keep the money rolling, because I'm going to back it. I have all the money. I'm loaded. I have so much money. It just pours out of me. I can pay for everything. I'm that rich. So I could just be like the new plantation owner, except I'm not a plantation owner. I'm just going to give you everything. I'll give you guys everything. If you let me have that wealth, I'll give you everything. I'll give you every single thing you want. I'm good for it. I have all that money. You see how it works? It continues to be a magic-based money system, but there's no borders, there's no taxes. And if you guys need something, let me know. I got it. Do you guys need new roads? It's a magic-based money, but we're already under magic. They're just hiding it. What do you guys need? I'm good for it. If you bestow the wealth of that banking dynasty to me, and then let me issue currency, I'm going to fund every Tanster project that someone wants funded. Does anyone want to do a Tanster project of their own? Whatever, call it whatever you want. I'm going to fund it. The world's going to be full of Tanster projects. That's going to be the number one career. And I'm going to ask that the Tanster projects be very charitable, obviously. See? That's the world that we will live in. No taxes. No taxes. Everything keeps going. We make sure it keeps going. Okay? That's right within our reach. Okay, now let me tell you why. And this is what astrology told me today. Okay. So everything was Uranus. What am I talking about? I'm talking about shocking changes that are really benevolent, that would be really wonderful, that would set us free. I have the solutions. I just said it to you. We just have to do it. That's all. Let me be in charge. Let me issue the money and keep everything rolling. And we just keep handling problems as they arise. Right? The world already has a dictator, already has a slave owner. Let it be me, and I'll set you free. Of course I'll set you free. I'm not going to keep this as a slavery plantation. Of course not. That's ridiculous. See? So you just replace the dynasty, the banking dynasty. And you just, the structure's good. It's a good banking dynasty. It's good in its structure. It's just bad because it's evil. Just change the polarity of it. See, polarity, that's a Uranus type term. You don't say electricity. This is very interesting. I'm telling you, this is all coming from the chart today. So I have this Mars return square Pluto. So I'm war itself right now. And then that Mars is opposite Uranus. Okay, so really bellicose, really shocking, really revolutionary. And that's my place of others. And I've got my eccentrics in my places of others, my precious eccentrics. And that's in Libra. They're artists. Okay, so already at the Mars return, Uranus is popping out. Okay. And I also have Uranus trine Saturn. And I'm always saying this Saturn in the third house in Cancer, everything on my chart is pointing to this, saying your life is about this Saturn in the third house in Cancer. Saturn in the third house in Cancer would be blocks in communication or working in communication or structures involving communication of the past, of history. So a historian or a media person who talks about the past and communicates. So it's basically what I am. And it's saying that this is what you'll be. And that's trine Uranus. Okay, so I looked this up. And what does that mean? It means that someone who has Uranus trine Saturn is so good at working within a system and knows how to create freedom in a system. Okay, you get the idea. So I'm thinking I am a outsider rebel. People won't even talk to me. I'm such an outsider. I'm like, that's so not me. But it could become me. You see? If this happened, if you may replaced him with me, that's what I would do. I would create a structure that would set everyone free. It wouldn't be that hard because the structure's there already. It just needs the polarity changed. Polarity, Uranus. I hope this is making sense. It's saying that I could create structures that create freedom. Okay, fine. So what? That's one interpretation of Saturn trine because it's a flowing positive connection. I don't have many of them. Okay, so I have to really pay attention to the ones I have. Oh, it turns out today I have Saturn trine that Uranus as a transit. Okay, this is all happening in Libra, art, relationships, culture. Okay, basically music. Okay, so I have a trine to transit Saturn. Where's Saturn? It's in Aquarius, ruled by Uranus. Okay, so again, Saturn, Uranus again. Trine the Uranus and Libra. That's also trine. It's also trine the other Saturn. So it's so look at this. So interesting. And Saturn's in Aquarius. Saturn's in a place of Uranus. And Uranus right now transiting my first house. See, so I'm all coming across as this like revolutionary Uranus person. And it's in Taurus. That's money. Revolution money in my first house. I know there's even more. It's crazy. I can't believe this. Right. Okay. Oh, anyways, so then this was really interesting too. So I have all these charts that I'm studying, trying to look at patterns. Ortas had Saturn opposition Uranus. Okay, so she was a very rebellious person within a structure, the Bonaparte dynasty. She was very rebellious. She did have a lot of trouble fitting in. And yeah, that's fair. Okay. And then I looked at Elvis's chart. He has Saturn square Uranus. Okay. There it is again. Okay, Saturn square Uranus. And I read and read and read about it. And it said, this is someone who is a revolutionary, but they prefer to operate from within the system. I thought that was so interesting because that's exactly what he's doing. He is in the system to revolutionize it from within. And the funny thing about that, and I think about these things, is that would have been more Hortense. Napoleon would have been more in my position, like banging at the walls and yelling. That's more Napoleon. And she would have been more, just get in the room and see what you can do. That would have been more her style. So I think it's really interesting that's flipped. And the other thing that's flipped is that Hortense was a famous musician. That's flipped too. So this is real. Wow. Incredible. Okay, anyway, so it was saying that, and I continually marvel at that he is more like Hortense. And Hortense was always telling Napoleon, I read a letter where Napoleon said, oh, she gives a lot of advice. Yes, she did. She had good advice. Should have been listened to. I'm kidding, but that was more her style. She was always saying, "I'll be nicer to the ladies and I'll be more diplomatic." And she was always like that on him. And he was, and now it's a little different. He's more the finessing one. I think that's interesting. We'll see how it goes. Okay, so I have too many themes. Oh, I have to mention this. And my midheaven is in Capricorn, and my North Node is in Capricorn, and so is Elvis's. These are unavoidable patterns. You have to see that the North Node being in Capricorn is indicating that's the direction I'm to go in. And I'm not that comfortable with it yet, but it's my destiny to go towards Capricorn. That's organization and structures, government banking. Okay. And then Elvis's North Node. I'm not sure about his birth time. So it's suspected to be in Capricorn also. So this is screaming things. This is screaming that we're here to create liberating institutions. I'm telling you, the institutions are mostly okay. And if I have all that money, you can see I don't even I don't all I do is buy materials. I'm not after big things, I don't care about I'm not let me have all the money. I will fund everything. It's so easy. I will fund everything good. I will fund nothing bad. Do you see how easy that would be to change the whole world overnight? All you would have to do is trust me. Can you trust me? Of course you can trust me. You trust me. I'm the only one you can trust. Trust me. When you trust me, I can change the world. You have to invest me with the power to help you, and I'll help you. And I'll set you all free. I will do every single thing within my power to solve these problems, and there would be no taxes because I could pay for the roads. I have it. See how easy that is? I could pay. Do you need a swimming pool? What do you want? I have it. I'm good for it. I have all the money in the world. See how cool that would be? I'm good for it. It's the perfect solution. It is a revolutionary Saturnine solution. It's a perfect solution. You just have to do one thing and one thing only. Trust me. And if you don't trust me, take the power back. It's yours to give or take. If you like how I banking dynasty the world, then no problem. Okay? And then when I die, you have to figure out what else to do with it. That's a great offer, and everyone wins, okay? No, the criminals don't really win, but the criminals would have every opportunity in the world to form new lives. Because I will tell you right now, anybody who is a criminal right now, second chances are flowing like water right now. Absolutely. And will continue to do so. This is not about vengeance. This is about moving on. This is about freedom. Okay? Anybody who's a criminal who wants a second shot, I always will have loads of money for that. Do you see how easy this would be? And then people who want to do better will have the funds to do better, and we will find a way. We will create all kinds of structures to find people to fund that are worthy. Do you see? The whole world would turn into a charity art project. And that would be the greatest career. And helping feed people would be a charity art project that I would fund constantly. If somebody would want a career in feeding hungry people, I would have all the money in the world for that. You see how much better things would get right now? Seriously, my people, okay? It doesn't have to be like this. Cut off from them, okay? They're monsters. And I don't use that. Look, a monster is a monster. That's a word. It means something, okay? Some people are monsters, okay? I don't like to say it, but it's true. Anyway, so think about my offer because it's completely win-win. In my banking dictatorship, There's only win-win scenarios, okay? Exactly. And music, mandatory guitar lessons, mandatory fun. That's what I'm saying. You could turn the whole world into this art project, and I'll fund everything. Anything benevolent, particularly feeding people, helping people, learning healing modalities, helping people have support. I would basically, if you call it an art project and it's benevolent, it's already funded. I already funded it. I'll fund it for you, okay? So give me this power, please, my people. Give me this power. Find a way to bestow this power on me. I will fund everything. I'll turn the whole world into a charity art project that's like lavishly funded. And the charity art project will be all about manufacture, agriculture, anything, progress, free energy. Oh my goodness, free energy, innovative plumbing solutions, anything that gets us independent, not needing anyone, no taxes. There will be no taxes under my banking dynasty because I will have so much money. I'll be so rich. I'll just pay for it. And you guys can, I'll give you money. You support commerce. The most important thing is that we have law enforcement protecting our commerce, protecting our agriculture, protecting the things that benefit all of us. It's a very exciting idea. It's only win-win scenarios. Mandatory win-win scenarios. If it's not a win-win scenario, I'm just going to throw it out. That's a dictatorship that I'm dreaming of. That is right within our grasp. If we unite, if we change our minds, right here, it's right here that change happens. Okay, they're always going to rig the elections. They're always going to lie to us. Just cut off from them. Your vote is making this happen. Bestow me with the wealth of that banking dynasty, and it's an illusion. So give me the illusion. See, you don't even have to pick up a phone. You just have to change your mind and say, you know what? She should have 700 trillion trillions like they do. Or maybe they shouldn't have it anymore. Maybe she should just have 700 trillion trillions. Oh, well, now that I have 700 trillion trillions, things are going to change. See, they have all the money and I don't. That's why this whole thing is happening. See, if I had all the money, that's a Pluto and Capricorn. So you can just turn it upside down. If you just turned it upside down, if you just changed the structure, then good would be good again and bad would be bad again. It wouldn't be that you make money for committing crimes. It would be you don't get to be around us for committing crimes. That's what it would be. It would be not the criminals on top, it would be the criminals at the bottom. Wouldn't that be incredible if the criminals didn't make all the rules? Can you imagine such a world? We can't because we've never lived in it, but we could. Uranus, trine, Saturn. I'm trying to show you what that looks like. You can see it's all over my chart. This is the gift of astrology, where you know what you've got, okay? That's what we've got. That. We have it. We have the power, okay? And Uranus is the people, the masses. And there is a lot of evidence to suggest that people do operate as one organism in a way. For example, when you see the birds flying in swarms in the sky or the fish swim in schools, they are one entity, even though there's many little beings in it. So we must be the same way. So I keep hoping that if enough of us become very self-aware and real, it'll just catch on, and then it'll like everyone will just wake up real, you know. That would be cool. Anyway, so I'm hoping for that. And it might have happened, will happen, who knows? We'll see. But there could be that moment where everybody's like real and not going to take it anymore. I think we might be getting there. I hope so. Okay, so that's what I want. I want to run against that banking dynasty. I want to be the new banking dynasty dictator. I would be such a great dictator. You would love me as dictator. And like you said, you can always get rid of a dictator. That's easy. You wouldn't want to get rid of me. I'd be a really good dictator. But that's what I'm saying. Like, I'll just fund things and look for ways to meddle. I want more art. I want more music. I want more hungry being fed. I said that wrong, right? Anyway, yeah, I want the hungry fed. I want people to be able to work. I want people to have workshops. I love that. If anybody wants to learn how to make jewelry or learn smithing, I'm gonna fund that. Call it an art project. I'll fund anything if you call it an art project. You want a new farm? I'm gonna fund that. And I'm going to call it an art project. I'm going to say this is an art project. And then I'm going to want to hear about all the art projects. And that's going to be the news. The news is how some farmer helped people, taught them agriculture and then fed the community. That's going to be the news in the future. And Elvis is going to help me, and Van is going to help me. They're going to help me because I know that they dream of the same world. I know that for sure. And we all dream of it. It's just this one guy. Oh my goodness. Can we move past this one guy? Can we just ignore him if you don't want to do anything with him? Can we just ignore him and let him be in his palace or something? We have to get free of the lies. I'll speak for myself as someone who's been researching this topic for years. The more you find out about this banking dynasty and the way they operate, the more you really don't want them to run everything. Okay. And then when they come with their, oh, it's for your health. That shouldn't have gone that far, my people. I'm telling you. Oh, no. Way too many people were fooled. That was way too many. Oh, and they're still pushing it. Of course they are. Because this is it. They know. They know they're running out of tricks to run on us. They know this. Anyway, so here is a letter, typical Napoleon fashion when he's victorious. Okay, it's very short. Monsieur Talleyrand will have shown you the bulletin, my dear love. You will have noted my success. Everything has happened as I had calculated, and never was an army more completely beaten, more entirely lost. It remains for me to tell you that I am well, and that fatigue, the bivouac, watches have all fattened me. Adieu, my dear love. 1,000 pleasant things to Hortense, and to big Monsieur Napoleon. All thine, Napoleon. But he is subverted. They knew that would work on him because he did love winning. They got him, and they knew his weaknesses because they wanted those wars. It's terrible. See, he thought he was winning, but he's really losing. That's sad, but I have another thing I need to say. Basically, when I started to listen to these freaking spy agency fake truthers on YouTube is, oh my goodness, trickster world, okay? That I know. Okay, anyway, so there's the official narrative, and then there's the official unofficial narrative, and that's basically the Victor Strasky Club version of truth. Okay, so there's the official, and then there's like the truther version, and that has its aims, because it's not true either. It's there's a lot of truth, but then they put the disinformation in. Okay, so they'll tell you 90% things that are true, and then they'll put in their ridiculous stuff. Okay, and then the person sounds ridiculous, and they just run the people into the ground who want to find out the truth. Okay, so there really is a truth, and then there's this whole trickster show they put on the side to like derail you from the truth, and then to run you in circles and waste your time. That's how they do it. It's fake populist movements, and then they put it next to like the real thing that threatens them. So you'll get like caught up in their little fake organization, fake populist. It's all publicist PR tricks. Anyway, so Napoleon is a character in that truth or psyop. Okay, because the whole thing is to throw you off the banking dynasty, or to make you think the banking dynasty is to confuse you about it, so you never know the truth. It must come straight from that banking dynasty, this whole fake truther thing. So I was always paying attention. What are they going to say about Napoleon? And they would always say the same thing, that he was an Illuminati puppet. Yeah, that's what they all said. Napoleon, he was an Illuminati puppet. And the implication is that Napoleon was in on it. Like I think Hitler was. I think they ascribe the qualities of Hitler to Napoleon. They ascribe the qualities of Napoleon to Hitler. They switch it in the truther world. So you'll get fooled into thinking that Hitler was the good guy. And then you're going to go around like an idiot, go, oh, Hitler's a good guy. See, that's how this banking dynasty is trying to run you into the ground with this fake truther movement. And then they create a lot of confusion about the child trafficking that they're always doing. This is all so they can keep getting away with the horrible things they're doing. I'm just trying to explain how this works. Okay. And then Napoleon is in on it. So the very people that are doing these horrible things are framing Napoleon by saying that Napoleon was in with them. Isn't that so complicated? It is hard to understand their tricks at first. Like, wait, what? How does that work? Okay, so the people that do the terrible things are saying Napoleon is terrible because he was really with them. So they're really insulting themselves. So I always find that interesting. I go, oh, all these things that they do require huge admissions of guilt that they're the bad guys. Napoleon is so terrible that he worked with them, and it's coming from them. Who would ever expect that? It's really interesting. But once you get the way they do it, oh, there they are, there they are, there they are. But it's very shameless. Like they have to really humiliate themselves for these tricks to get pulled off. Okay, finally. Then we go through all of these memoirs, and I want to find out the truth, because I know the unofficial, official truther narrative is going to be very close to the truth, actually. Napoleon was an Illuminati puppet, but not the way they're saying. They're saying he was in on it and he was just playing a role because that banking dynasty wanted more wars. But see, I think that's Hitler. And then they tell you Hitler was really a very benevolent populist. That's how they do it. Just so they really do. Those are two big characters that that banking dynasty loves to mess with. And I could talk about that for a long time. Anyway. Yeah, but he was an Illuminati puppet because they wanted those wars. And I'm showing you in the letters how it worked. That he had that foible, that he just he was so unhappy emotionally. He was so miserable in his marriage. He was so unhappy he couldn't be with the stepdaughter, that he channeled all of that into this desire to win because it made him feel good. So he's completely emotionally driven. And then the banking dynasty used that to get those wars. But it was because Napoleon, probably because he couldn't have the wife he wanted. And that I really believe that. But see, that horrible misery of not being able to have the wife he wanted created so much. I really think it was all meant to happen that way. It's amazing. I think we're in like I feel like this is mythology right now. It's what's playing out right now. I've been feeling that way a long time. This is the Bible stories of the heroes of lore. It's like the reality show Iliad. It's cool. Anyway, so let's hear from our beloved Elvis, the memoirist, and this wonderful book. I just love it. I did notice that Mr. Crescent Elvis has a moon return today. I did notice that, and hope it was okay. Hope it's okay. The moon's gonna go right past it. It goes fast. I noticed that. So it's his moon birthday. He has a moon birthday every 28 days. So let's commemorate Mr. Crescent's moon birthday, and with his memoirs, his ultra sentimental, Beautiful, beautiful, sensitive memoirs. Okay, let's hear it. It was one thing to read some flowery hymn of praise to the Laurel Canyon idol, but it was quite another to rise at dawn, bunk off school, and get the morning train to Manchester to be the first in line at the box office to get Joni Mitchell tickets. The shock of hearing the songs from Blue live for the first time several months before they were released on record meant that my friends and I stayed for all of the encores, missing the last train back to Liverpool, and had to spend every last penny we had on a 40-mile taxi ride home, still having to wake up our parents upon arrival to make up the balance of our fare. When Blue was finally released, we gathered at a house on Cantrell Farm, an estate on the edge of Liverpool, and not exactly a place where you lingered after dark. Another pal of mine, called Tony Tremarco, lived there. I remember thinking his parents were great because they seemed to live feast or famine style, having parties or going on holiday when the money came in from his dad's work, or maybe it was just an impression I got because there hadn't been any family parties in my house since I'd been a teenager. In any case, we had the house to ourselves. Tony's girlfriend, Anne, had a pal named Geraldine who would even up the numbers on our outings to Manchester, but would never quite call it a date. We all gathered around the record player and drank coffee and listened to every word and note of Blue over and over again until dawn. There were no romantic ideas that I could have offered Geraldine that would have sounded half as transporting and as abject as those coming out of the speakers. I wondered what it really felt like to drink a case of someone. It surely didn't feel like the chill of fatigue, disappointment, and the jitters brought on by the instant coffee as the sun came up. Tony even got Rusty a gig playing at his cousin's wedding, but our original songs and West Coast classics were not really what the older relations had in mind. They were dismayed when we admitted that we didn't know Spanish Eyes or The Last Waltz by Engelbert, and we had to quickly rustle up a medley of Chuck Berry songs in order to satisfy the dancers. Thank you so much for listening. I hope you have a wonderful evening.